The most dangerous lies are never spoken aloud. They are smiled. We live in a gallery of masks, a world where a handshake can hide a dagger and a compliment can hide contempt. Most people are so intoxicated by words they fail to see the betrayal written in the silence. But the body is a traitor. It cannot keep the secrets of the mind. To see the truth, you don't need better hearing. You simply need to stop listening. The most dangerous noise in the world is not a scream, nor is it the thunder of artillery. The most dangerous noise is the silence of a man who has decided to betray you. Most people walk through life functionally deaf to this frequency. They are intoxicated by the cacophony of their own voices, desperate to fill every pregnant pause with nervous chatter. Terrified that silence might force them to confront the vacuum of their own insecurity. They listen to words, those carefully constructed lies we wrap around our intentions, and believe them. But the elite, the few who walk the path of the quiet observer, know that words are merely the costume. The body is the naked truth. Consider the boardroom, that modern coliseum where wars are fought with ink and handshakes. You sit across from a potential partner. He is charming, his vocal cadence is practiced, a symphony of reassurances and projected confidence. He tells you the deal is solid. He tells you he is committed. But you are not listening to the melody of his speech. You are watching the betrayal, written in the tension of his jaw. You notice the way his feet, hidden beneath the mahogany table, are pointed toward the exit, a subconscious desire to flee the room. To flee the lie he is currently spinning. His mouth smiles, showing perfectly whitened teeth, but the smile does not reach his eyes. The orbicularis oculi muscles remain dormant. It is a predator's smile, all social lubricant, no genuine warmth. He is screaming his deception at you, yet he hasn't stuttered once.
You knew exactly what you...
This is the tragedy of the average man. He is so consumed by what he is going to say next that he misses the entire conversation happening in the physical realm. We are biological machines, ancient hardware running modern software. Our limbic system, the primal brain responsible for survival, cannot lie. It reacts to threat and comfort instantaneously, bypassing the logic centers where we fabricate our excuses. When a man feels threatened, he covers his vitals. He touches his neck, the suprasternal notch, protecting the jugular. When he disapproves, he compresses his lips until they disappear. A subconscious attempt to hold back the negative thought.
Are you sure it was him?
These are not random tics, they are leakage. They are the pressure valves of the soul hissing under the weight of a facade. To master the art of observation, one must first master the art of detachment. You cannot read the room if you are desperate for its approval. The nice guy, the pleaser, is blind because he projects his own desire for harmony onto the chaos around him. He sees what he wants to see. The stoic, however, sees what is. He removes his ego from the equation. He becomes a mirror. When you stop trying to impress, you become invisible, and in that invisibility, you become omniscient. You watch the couple at the restaurant table next to you. They are not speaking, but the distance between their shoulders is a chasm.
Keep it close.
She creates a barrier with her purse on the table. He crosses his arms, a defensive shield over his chest. Their torsos are angled away from each other. The relationship ended months ago. Their mouths just haven't admitted it yet. This is the burden and the power of the ghost mode observer.
Agreed. We have a deal.
You begin to see the strings on the puppets.
Let's move forward on this. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. General.
You realize that most human interaction is a performance of status and submission. You see the alpha in the group who takes up maximum space, splaying his limbs to claim territory, not out of comfort, but out of a desperate need to establish dominance. You see the submissive acolyte who mirrors him, shrinking, nodding excessively, exposing his wrists, a biological surrender. It is primal theater, played out in suits and denim, unchanged since we huddled in caves around a fire. But there is a darker utility to this skill. It is defense. In a world of increasing deceit, the ability to spot a discrepancy, a baseline deviation, is a survival trait. When the words say "I love you," but the head shakes slightly, no, believe the head. When the apology is loud, but the hands are clenched into fists, believe the fists. The subconscious mind is always faster than the conscious lie. It is a split-second delay, a micro-expression of contempt that flashes across a face before the social mask slides back into place. If you blink, you miss it. If you are checking your phone, you miss it. If you are worrying about your own hair, you miss it. To exist in this state of heightened awareness is to live in a different layer of reality. It requires a quiet sort of courage, the courage to acknowledge truths that are uncomfortable. It is easier to believe the lie. It is easier to believe she is just tired. Rather than noticing the cold recoil of her touch, it is easier to believe the business partner is just stressed, rather than acknowledging the shift in his baseline behavior that signals fraud. But the price of that comfort is catastrophe. The price of blindness is usually betrayal. Ultimately, reading body language is not a parlor trick to impress friends. It is the study of human nature stripped of its poetry. It is the understanding that we are all leaking our intentions constantly in a stream of nonverbal data that floods the space between us. The world is screaming the truth at you every second of every day. The question is not whether the truth is there. The question is whether you have the discipline to shut your mouth, silence your mind, and simply watch. Because while a man can lie with his tongue, he cannot lie with his shoulders. The body keeps the score. And the score is always visible to those who are willing to look.